Okay, we just about ready to get back on the air. Welcome back. Exciting second round matchup here between Nelson High School and the Jefferson Lady Demos getting introduced right now. Brought their cheerleading squad. Great atmosphere down here.
Kind of a young crew of Nelson versus a more veteran crew of Jefferson. Should be an interesting matchup.
Yeah, had a chance to talk to coach of Nelson. Pride themselves on being scrappy and getting things started on the defensive end. We'll see how they match up with the Lady Demos. Coach Lawrence and his 3 daughters on the team.
Yeah, PIL Jefferson is a legendary school in the PIL, especially on the boys basketball side.
Jefferson Lady Demos in the white with the first look, can't get it to go. And a beautiful down court pass. That's Tatiana Harris with the lay-in and the early 2-0 lead. Aubriana Lawrence is going to bring it across, and an early pause as we've got some other players kind of walking behind the court for safety. We're just going to take it out of bounds.
Yeah. I believe that was a shot clock problem. The shot clock did not start.
And a wide open look under the basket. Layla Nunez gets the 2, and we're knotted here early.
A couple of defensive breakdowns by each team early here.
And quickly to the double team. Harris passes out of it. Back to Harris. Simone Sedaris. There seemed to really be a lot of ball pressure. And right on cue there is Love Ford with the board, draws the contact. She's getting a lot of D1 offers. Big, strong player.
Yeah, Jeff comes out in a very aggressive 2-3 zone. And Nelson more of a man-to-man. We'll see how that plays out over the course of the game.
Front iron off, just love the groove and vibe coming off the Jefferson cheerleaders. Good stuff, really known for their dance squad and all kinds of artistic stuff coming out of Jefferson High. 11. Aubriana Lawrence, then she's gonna kick it out. A good, strong rebound for Chauncey Anderson. She's gonna draw the foul.
Yeah, Chauncey played on our Nike EYBL Cal Stars team until she got hurt in the spring. Good athlete, really can jump. Nice smooth stroke from the 3-point line. I believe she's committed to a Division I school. I'd have to look that up. I haven't talked to her in a little bit. Great family, Anderson Construction.
Oh, got it, yeah.
Very generous family. I've gotten to know them a little bit. They're great people.
It's good to know. So many great ancillary benefits of being on a team and part of the community and playing sports. Going up high, Tatiana Harris to get that. Swing it back to Harris. Jasmine Nita back to Harris, thought about the 3. Down low to Love, but she throws this one away. And a pretty dangerous looking foul. Charisma Johnson, the recipient of the contact, bodies crashing everywhere. And I think we just got ourselves a common foul ball out of bounds for the Lady Demos. Lawrence to get it in, back to Aubriana. Nunez with the long 3, not a great look. Nyla Webster. Webster gonna kick it over to Harris. Back to Webster, gonna call her own number from 3, around and off, and good position. Here's Charisma. Get it to Nunes. Left-handed dribble, working her way into the lane, can't get the bank shot to go. And a lot of ball, but we're gonna get a foul on Layla Nunes. She's telling coach, I had that. It looked like a lot of ball from here, but kind of tangled inside the arm. And
oh boy.
Look at this, yeah.
A little sloppy early. Looked like a shuffle of the feet, no call.
And this aggressive D is causing some problems for Nelson. Back over to Love Ford. Cross court pass and the open look. Jasmine Nita can't get that to go. Bodies everywhere. And it's gonna stay here, a foul against, out of bounds. I didn't quite catch what happened there, actually.
Well, the shooter, it looked like Jasmine Nita for Nelson, landed awkwardly. Quick stoppage of play to check on her, and now we're back live.
Inbounds to Nunes. Pretty good handles for a tall player. 6'1", playing forward. There's Charisma. Gonna kick it over. Back to Anderson. Anderson, a great look down low. Aubriana Lawrence draws the contact, and she's going to get 2 free throws.
Jefferson, very athletic group. They've got length. Not a lot of bulk with those long bodies, but they certainly have some reach to them. Nelson, Love Ford, quite a presence inside. It's like, again, a young team. Nelson, a fairly new school in the Clackamas Happy Valley area. Draws from that same area that Clackamas High School does.
Second free throw is good for the older sister there, Aubriana Lawrence. Of the 3 Lawrence sisters, coached by Dad, that's got to be a blast. Dribble out of bounds. Timeout. They've got to find an answer for all this. Jefferson pressure on the ball.
Nelson point guard Tatiana Harris is struggling a little bit with that pressure. One thing you'll see, Ben, is smaller point guards have to have some strength to them to survive. Otherwise, you can really be susceptible to being trapped, and you can't throw it over the top as easily, so you have to be crafty. Gabby Moultrie from Wilsonville, an example. She's someone you've seen twice, how she makes up for her size with her strength and her ability to create space with some of the handle she has. And so that small point guard, it's a challenge, especially when you're getting intense pressure there. Jeff's picking up in an extended 2-3 zone right now, and making it really tough. They're coming out, looks like man right here out of the timeout. We'll see what adjustments Nelson makes against the pressure.
Nita inbound back to Harris. We'll see how she does. Back to Nita. Tipped but controlled by Nelson. And stepped out of bounds, a little bit of contact, but good physical defense out of Carmela Nunes, forcing the turnover.
Yeah, that's a foul that should have been called.
Yeah, I think I saw that, and right on cue, Jeff turns it back over. Aggressive trapping, good hands out of Nunes. Ball's gonna stay with Nelson. Still looking to find their offense. It's stuck on 3 for a little bit.
Yeah, I think both teams a little bit struggling against the defensive schemes of either team. You know, Jefferson very aggressive in the half court. Be careful that half court line. That's twice that Nelson almost had over and back calls.
Yes, it would be a silly unforced error. And they've run that look a couple times, and this time Nyla Webster on track, also getting D1 offers and a real silky stroke for the 3 to tie us up at 6.
A little Blazer trivia. If you remember Martell Webster, that's his daughter.
Oh, interesting. Fantastic. Yeah, I do remember Martell. He went nuts and scored 24, 28 points in a quarter once. Showed his talent, never quite maybe fully realized it. Good player. I mean, there was a lot of hype around Martell. He was going to be a, all-star caliber player. And a good look. Aubriana Lawrence with the three-pointer, and the lead is 11-6.
I like the basketball savvy that she got back behind the three-point line and did not shoot the terrible two.
The terrible two. Yeah, past that stage of parenting. Good look, nice little dribble to find her own shot. And Nyla Webster showing off what Dad taught her. Martell in the building, did you see him?
Yes, I did see him before the game.
Nice. Better talk about all the shining moments in his career. No, good player. It's tough watching the Blazers these days. I don't know what needs to happen. Honestly, not a giant fan of Chauncey Billups, but who knows if it's really his fault. Tough to get some of these free agents to want to come to the beautiful Rose City, which seems silly. Fall back three is no good for Chauncey Anderson. And a good look down low to Love. She's going to power that one up and in. Good basket for Nelson.
Very athletic play by Love Ford there to gather that in traffic and then go up.
Nunez, that's a tough floater to get to go. Good look back to Charisma. Charisma's going to swing it to Aubriana Lawrence from downtown. She's got the stroke warmed up. Demo's finding their offense.
Jefferson had high hopes coming into this year. They had a very veteran crew.
A little short for Sam Kirkland. Quickly the other way, the Demos. Aubriana looking for three in a row.
That's a heat check.
A feisty rebound. Yeah, there.
I can live with that shot. That's a heat check. We'll give her permission. We'll let her let that fly.
She's got to be feeling good with the last two.
Yeah. Timeout, settle things down again. I think Jeff game kind of going the speed and pace and frantic play that they like. Again, having just eyeballed them a little bit so far this year. Got some serious length. Certainly a team that could make it challenging on your guards, bringing it up. I think Nelson Young got to settle down a little bit here. This is an opportunity for them to regroup a little bit too.
Yeah, kind of a young team, definitely led by some gifted athletes in Ford and Harrison Webster. Tatiana Harris being a second-team All-League player last year as a sophomore.
And your best kids are two sophomores and a junior. The future's bright for Nelson. New coach in place.
Lawrence back to Nunez. Lawrence going strong, can't get that one to go. And a feisty rebound. That's Miley, but she throws this one away. And the layup in transition, can't get it to go end to end here. Good find. Nunez was the open.
Bodies everywhere out there.
Soraya Bell with the board, but she can't get the putback. And Webster again, she's going to let it fly. Good looking stroke, making Dad proud.
Definitely been a difference maker in this first quarter. Kind of single-handedly keeping Nelson close here. And that's a foul once those two hands go on.
Right.
A little surprised they didn't call that.
foul on the pass. And only 2 team fouls for the Demos. Chauncey Anderson going to check back in.
If you're Jefferson, you just look up and you see 14 fouls on Nelson. You could be aggressive to the basket, maybe get to the free throw line. It's a 2-for-1 if you're Nelson. Don't know if they're going to recognize it or not.
Webster does, gets it up, back iron and off, and unable to secure the rebound. That's Miley Lawrence, the sophomore sister. Dad with 3 daughters, got to be a surreal experience. Webster to inbound to Harris. Get the set from the bench, back to Harris. She's going to turn and call her own number, nothing but nothing. Good rebound, a lot of pressure on Sinai Bell, but Lady Demo's going to keep possession here. And some full court pressure shown by Nelson.
Straight man here.
Sinai Bell, just why not? Draws the contact. Kept kind of taking what the defense gave her, and that was the open lane to the basket. There you go. 5 team fouls, doesn't even matter if she was shooting.
And Nelson probably thinking last shot right now. Your Coach Hodge have a special free throw play right here. If you're Jeff, maybe get your best defensive lineup out, or maybe make a change defensively so that Nelson is not ready. I think little things like that can really affect a game. Might steal you 1 or 2 possessions in a close game, could be the difference.
Yeah, right on cue. Coach Lawrence making those changes, prepared to try to get a final stop. First free throw is good.
And sometimes avoid foul trouble. If you've got a player with 1, why get a silly foul here in the last 18 seconds? Get them out, get them on the bench, and then get them back in to start the second quarter.
Free throw up and good. Mackenzie Lawrence. Webster, bounce pass down low. Gets the ball back. It's Olivia Futch in the game. And yeah, they didn't get the last shot, and then Jeff promptly turns it over and gives them one more shot at it.
We would say right thought, bad execution on that. That was
not
the
much
right
time,
thought.
2 seconds that she recognized, looked like a carry, and then a travel, and then she throws it over the backboard. Entertaining first quarter here. Yeah. Lady Demo's up 3. Good competitive matchup.
Yeah, this isn't what you would call an X and O festival here. This is just 2 athletic groups kind of trying to figure out what each of them are doing. And, you know, clearly Jeff trying to exert their will with their pressure defense. And Nelson playing a lot through Webster. And she's clearly a special talent for sure.
Yeah, that was obvious right from the go. Good handles, good looking stroke, working hard off the ball, clearly they're running the offense through her and Love Ford. But Love hasn't quite got her game, her scoring presence. I mean, shoot, they have 13 points as a team. I think you're right. At least half or more of those are coming from Webster.
Yeah. You would call that a choppy first quarter for both teams. Some good, some bad, and some ugly. A little Clint Eastwood reference there, but yeah, I think a little bit of everything there, and I think the team that tries to get more of the good and less of the bad here in the second quarter can maybe stretch it a little bit, but fairly even teams, just the eyeball test. I think Jeff with a little bit more experience, and we'll see how it plays out over the course of the next 3 quarters.
Ford is back in. And Harris going to bring it over, immediately met by that double team, gets it into Webster. Webster's going to kick it over. Tom Kirkland in the game. Another turnover.
Yeah, that's a killer, because you just spent 30 seconds drawing something up, talking about getting a bucket to start, and it's a turnover. And that's a frustrating thing for a coach when you lack that execution.
Johnson gets it into Nunes. Across the timeline, checked by Love. Back to Charisma. Running a little weave action here. Kick it out for the open three. Nunes, a good looking stroke. The three is home. 19-13, Lady Demos. Here comes the double team, a lot of ball, and unfortunately, Webster looks like she picked up a little knock. She's just kind of bent, hunched over in some pain, unfortunately, at center court, and she's gonna have to sit down. This is not what you wanna see.
Referee should have blown the whistle sooner. As soon as Nelson had the ball down there,
yeah,
there was no advantage.
I don't know what she heard, but there was a play on the ball while she was holding on to it. She seems to be looking at that left ankle. I thought for a second she might have hurt her shoulder just hanging on to the ball through that pressure, but almost looks like a calf. And let me tell you from firsthand experience, calves are ginchy, and hopefully it's just a little cramp or something. She'll be back up and at it.
Yeah, looking what the trainer's doing, I'm going to guess cramp, but that's just a pure guess from where we're sitting.
Yeah, calves are always the first thing to cramp on me. Most players. She's walking pretty well, so it doesn't look to be anything serious, thank goodness. I think we're going to see her later in this game. Maybe try to get some fluids in her, get that thing warmed up and stretched out. Take a little rest to maybe get it rubbed out. I like the Theragun myself. And a steal, great steal from Charisma. Down low to Nunes, can't get it to go, but crashing the glass. Chauncey Anderson, she's got quite a motor on her and a good leaper, as you said earlier. Quick little look for her. She's just got to compose herself and get that to go. Great position. She's a little frustrated with herself. Full court presser for the Lady Demos. And it's causing problems. They're going to retain possession. Here's Sam Kirkland. Kirkland's going to get it over to, well, to nobody.
Yeah, Nelson's clearly struggling with in half court and full court pressure for Jeff. I think if you're the Jefferson bench, you're going to try to get into that pressure as much as you can and exert your will the remainder of this quarter, if not the rest of the game.
Yeah. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And not able to really get that rebound, and a pure-looking stroke. Brianna Lawrence got a silky touch. Here's Grace Bach going to the lane and drawing the contact.
Foul on Anderson there. I think she'd had that to do over again. She'd have just gone straight up because that drive wasn't going really anywhere.
A little out of control, but
yes,
good chance for Grace to get herself going at the free throw line.
And that's one where you tell your defender there, don't reward the out of control player. You know, just stay vertical. Don't reach down. They're typically going to miss that out of control running one-footed shot. If you look at the percentages, going off 2 feet typically improves your shooting percentage by 25 to 30%.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Here's a great sign. Nyla Webster back in the game. Must have just been a little cramp, as you thought. And yeah, that's the best news of all here. Beautiful backdoor cut and a lovely layup. Charisma Johnson. Great feed in the Demos. They're causing all kinds of problems here for Nelson. A three from the baseline is home for Nunes, and the lead is 13. Yeah, offensive foul, a little out of control. I don't think we want Love Ford kind of running the point and Nelson's kind of out of their identity here as a team. They're going to need to huddle up and come up with some answers.
Yeah, certainly the pressure has gotten to Nelson, and if I'm Jefferson, it's blood in the water. Let's go. Let's continue to heat them up and exert pressure with, you can bring 4 guys across half court right now. and heat that pressure up.
Are you looking to your ball handlers and really trying to kind of formulate your lineup to combat some of this pressure that's giving you all kinds of grief?
Yeah, I think your dilemma is that Nelson's backcourt is small, and they're having a tough time seeing over the top. So what's that force you to do? It forces you to put the ball on the bounce. Well, Jefferson can match you athlete for athlete now, so when you're on the bounce, it's not a better solution than trying to pass through it. So maybe bring some size in, move your point guard to the middle of the floor so she can catch it on the move and make some plays, put some length in the back. And again, sometimes your length isn't your best ball handler. So you've got some dilemmas here when you don't have 5 players on the floor versus pressure that can handle it, or at least 3. You want to have 3 and some kind of alignment in the back, maybe a 4th that can catch and make a good decision. But if you're in a deficit there, you're susceptible to pressure all day long. And maybe Webster back with the ball would be an adjustment to make, get Harris out of a little bit of that double team situation.
Sure, you want to flip the script on the demo, so make them pay for such, pressure on the ball and see if they can't break it and get a couple layups and chase them to change their strategy. And here we go, running. Great defensive play to get a hand on that. Nunes with the block. Was Miley Lawrence the other way. And a good no-look pass. Charisma Johnson cutting to the basket. Aubriana Lawrence found her, doing it at both ends. Putting some stat line together here. Nyla down low to Love. They need these two to get it going. Outside and just a little short. Jasmine Nita can't get the 3 to fall. Trying their own pressure, but pretty easily passed out of by the demos. Leads to a good looking 3.
Yeah, your dilemma with that pressure there is that it's really kind of fool's gold. If you break it out, you're going to give up easy looks in transition.
Charisma Johnson from downtown. The Lady Demos have got it going.
And that's danger zone time for Nelson here.
Good pass out of Love Ford. And a lot of contact, no call. And a good gather. It's Miley Lawrence, they're gonna swing it. Good ball fake, doesn't work behind the back. Going for that Mike Dunleavy Jr. tournament game that we all remember. Back iron and back, but some complacency on the defensive rebounding for Nelson. Demos. Here comes Sakura Ritchie for the first time. Chauncey Anderson back in. Quickly gonna get the ball. Sprints down the baseline, gets herself into good position and draws the foul.
Hawks foul number 22, Nyla Webster. First personal, second team foul.
18-point lead and growing with Anderson at the line for 2.
Yeah, Jeff could get this plus 20 at halftime. That would be a tough ask for Nelson. If you're Nelson, you want to see if you can get it to 15, 12, 15 going into halftime, get a little momentum. There is 4 minutes. I like to play the game in 4-minute breaks. In the college game, we play it in 5-minute breaks and try to talk about what we did well, what we didn't do well, how many shots we got, turnovers in that segment. And so Nelson has this 4-minute stretch here. If they can win this 4 minutes, they can feel good about halftime.
Yeah, 20-point lead, 4 minutes to go. We'll see if they can make you happy as a coach. Nyla Webster gonna let it fly from downtown, and that looked pretty as a postcard.
She's gonna have to exert a ton of energy to help her team right now.
Good steal out of Love Ford. Maybe Nelson's got something here. Webster again. Well handled outside to Love. She's gonna call her own number, get into the paint, can't get it to go, and a strong rebound. Nunes using her size and boxing out. A little crossover. Check by Sedaris. Kick it over, quick dribble, maybe shuffled the feet, got away with that one. Mackenzie.
Here's what I, as long as they're consistent on that travel call, I'll take it all day. Just be consistent.
And a soft touch, Mackenzie Lawrence with the hoop. Back to 19. The three, rainbow three, back iron and off. Tight spaces, Anderson gets it. Here comes Lawrence across the timeline. And right to her sister, charging down the lane, gonna let it fly around and out, but Nunes just working her butt off down in the paint. Another rebound and score, and it's a 21-point lead.
Yeah, I like Nunes. I like Four a lot. I like what she does. I like her length. Clearly a big that can get outside and shoot threes.
Why not? Webster give her dad a run for the money there on in a driveway game of horse. 18-point lead in 2 minutes. They didn't, well, they chipped 2 points off. They got another 2. Maybe we're just in the neighborhood of getting it to 15 with a 16-point lead at halftime. We'll have to see.
What we need to do is get a 4-point line there for Webster.
Yeah, right?
Her and Moultrie could have 50.
Definitely way outside the arc and some Steph Curry range. And we've got a youngster getting a couple shots up here. We'll see if he can make a basket.
That's Martell.
Oh, okay. All right. Martell's schooling the referee a little bit.
Yeah, I wouldn't let that happen if I'm that referee. I'd tell him go sit back down.
Right.
Great. You
Clear
just can't,
influence.
you can't have that happen. That's a no-no. And if you're getting supervised by your supervisor crew, you'd be in trouble for that one.
Got it.
You can't let a parent walk up to you during a game.
No matter who he is.
Doesn't matter who it is. Yeah. And again, he's been very nice, kind man. I've met him a couple times at club tournaments, but you can't have a parent come out of the stands and lecture a referee about how to call the game.
That's right, and the referee was completely giving him the time of day and taking the instruction. Demos are going to throw it away, and we'll see if Nelson can't chip into this lead down 18. Right back to the full court pressure out of Lady Demos, and immediately leads to a near steal, and then the steal. Nunes, or yeah, the other Nunes. That's right. There's 2 Nuneses. There we go.
Sloppy with the ball here, but
she's got her hair tucked under the jersey. That's a good look. And they're letting Ford bring it across and handle it. Maybe like you were saying, they need a little size to be able to pass over and absorb some of the bumps. Sedaris with the 3, offensive board and down low, and Webster gets rejected. Long pass.
Nice pass.
Yeah,
well done.
Pretty pass through the contact. Charisma Johnson making her impact on this game.
And 108 here. Again, been in the danger zone for a while if you're Nelson. What we need is a 2-for-1 here. Get a bucket, get a stop, get a bucket. Try to get it 15, 14 going into half.
Good looking stroke, Charisma Johnson, 19 points. Miley and Sinai Bell gonna give way. Second free throw up and good. More pressure.
Looks like a diamond alignment here for Jeff. Gonna probably trap the first pass.
Right on cue. Sedaris does well to break the pressure. Gets it back to Love. Love gonna power her way to the elbow. Put up a nice little 12-footer and get it to go. Lead is 18. Near travel, but she picked up her dribble and made a wise pass. There's Charisma, bounce pass into the lane. A little confusion whose ball. It's gonna go back to Nelson.
There's a lot of contact down there, but probably a good no call. Let him play through it. Now you're Nelson. You either hold for one or maybe a quick 2 for 1.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to get it up get a decent shot that quick. See if they just get the best look available here. Sedaris. Kick it over to Nida. Nida going to call her own and get in there, draw some contact on the floor. Only one team foul. So it's going to be side out.
Good foul by Jeff if you're playing the numbers. You've got 2 more to give. We like to have a call for that so we know we can foul if we're in a bad spot.
Webster going to throw it away, yeah. Just didn't quite have her focus on that pass. And a great save only to the demos. Aubriana Lawrence, she's filthy. Nice little dribble, gets it in, and a powerful hoop. Chauncey Anderson used her body well there. Only 1 second, the desperation shot at the buzzer, and there's a little frustration seeping in. Nyla seems frustrated, and Nelson don't have the most positive body language collectively as a team here.
And they certainly didn't have the answer for pressure. Excuse me. But one thing about pressure is it's an old saying that Rick Pitino had many years ago. Is that fatigue makes a coward out of all of us. And so when that fatigue sets in, and then you're a little sloppy with the basketball, and you start to turn it over, and then you look up the scoreboard. Now you're down 20. It can be demoralizing. So again, as a coach going in, Coach Hodge is going to have to try to settle her young group down. Going to have to be tactical and trying to design some stuff to handle that pressure. And I think they make better decisions with the basketball. Right now, too many passes are going into the hands of the defender. We're not making a fake. We're not throwing around the defense. We're not being deceptive, and that leads to, for Nelson, 11 turnovers. And points in the paint, we're looking at Jeff, 14-8. Second chance points, 22-3. The shooting percentages are comparable, 33-37. But Jeff, 11 more shots because of 15 offensive rebounds. So that's something that Nelson also is going to have to clean up, is the rebounds and the turnovers.
So it sounds like you were explaining some of it, but go into a little more detail as far as how, X's and O's wise, you beat this kind of pressure and the press, and what would you be drawing up at halftime here if you were in the Nelson locker room?
Right. Typically, when I wanted to break pressure, I wanted to make teams pay with scoring. So there's that mindset to it. Right now, Nelson probably not as athletic as Jeff, so there might need to bring an extra player or 2 back into the backcourt to help alleviate that pressure and really be more deceptive in how they're breaking it as far as just the decisions. I'm not talking about trying to fake the direction I'm going, but just with the ball, if I'm going to throw it an overhead pass, I need to get the defense's hands down before I go over.
Sure.
Or if I want to go under, I need to get their hands up. We always used to say fake it to make it. It's kind of a
Andre Miller didn't have a ton of quickness, but so effective with the ball fake.
Yeah, very deceptive with how he wanted to enter the passes, and that goes the same thing in full court. So Nelson's going to have to adjust, and part of that is they're young. They're not used to seeing this kind of pressure that Jeff is bringing on it. Because Jeff, to me, it's a one trap and done situation. So if they can handle that first trap, Nelson's going to have an advantage going the other way. The problem becomes then is they've shot it quickly a couple times. Those haven't gone in, and that's led to easy leak outs. One thing young players don't do, man, I'm going to tell you this right now, is they don't recognize when the shot's going up and the rotations that need to happen afterwards. So, for example, my teammate is driving in for a lay-in. I don't need to go rebound because they're going to make that lane and we need to get into our defense. So they need to be rotating back on D, getting a safety, but at least 1 player, maybe 2 back on D. Defensive transition is a really important part of everybody's system. And so, some of these teams that drive it in there and then they don't get back on D put themselves in bad spots, and that happened a little bit early with Nelson. But the biggest adjustment Nelson has to do is try to handle that pressure and try to finish, because if you're going to shoot it quick down there at the other end, it better be a really clean look. And Jeff's got to be real happy. The tempo's their way. Kids are making shots. Lawrence has been terrific. You could name any of them. And if I'm Nelson, I'm going to ask Webster to step up, and she's going to have to make plays. We're going to have to play through her, keep the ball in her hands, maybe even in the backcourt to make some decisions.
And she shot it well.
Yes.
She's 5 for 9 from the floor, and Love Ford is shooting at 50%, 2 for 4, but they've really got to find a way to get her the ball, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
Webster needs 10 shots and a half, and Ford needs 8. And your two best kids haven't shot it, and they've only had 24 shot attempts. So what's that tell you is they've turned it over a ton, 11 turnovers and a half. You're not going to win too many games with that. So they're going to have to clean up the ball handling, tighten up their handles, and see if they can't get it to 10 going into the fourth.
Yeah, unfortunately, they've got one basket outside of Nyla Webster and Love Ford, so they're going to have to get a little bit of production elsewhere, and like we were saying, find a way to get Ford and Webster in good opportunities to score and show off their talent. Well, just about 5 minutes. Take a short break and come back with the second half. Hey, welcome back, everybody. I'm Benjamin Efran with Kurt Guelsdorf, and we're here at Franklin High School getting ready for the second half. Jefferson Lady Demos going up against Nelson High School, Adrian C. Nelson High. The Hawks, the Lady Demos definitely had the better run of play. The press was just a lot to handle for Nelson. We'll see what kind of halftime adjustments were made and what kind of second half fight Nelson can put forward.
Yeah, again, we talked about it in the first game, and I'll talk about it again. First 4 minutes here of this third quarter will be big for Nelson. A little late coming out from the locker room there. Maybe they didn't get the knock at 3 minutes there. But certainly going to have to handle pressure better, play through Webster. She's going to have to continue to elevate her game, and then try to find a way to settle into their defense. Again, giving up 42 points in that first half to Jefferson, led by Aubriana Lawrence with some threes. I know the stats came up, or did they bring us the stats?
We read them at halftime.
Oh, that's right, we did.
Yeah.
Where did they go there? Oh, yeah, taking a look, Aubriana, 3 for 5 from threes. Layla Nunez, 2 for 4. So, gonna have to make some adjustments if you're Nelson.
I just feel like they have to get Ford and Webster some better looks at it, or some more looks. And what a fighter down low. Chauncey Anderson gets herself yet another offensive rebound. She hasn't shot the ball super well, but of course she's been everywhere on that offensive glass.
1 for 8 in that first half. But sometimes you can make up for that poor shooting with 4 for 4 at the foul line, 4 rebounds. You know, I think everybody wants to read the scoreboard and go immediately to points. I think there's a lot of other things that go into being a great player: rebounding, taking care of the basketball, sharing the basketball. Aubriana Lawrence, along with her 13 points, had 5 assists in that first half.
A good half. Here we go with the pressure, although they broke it a lot easier that time. And it leads to a pretty good look on the baseline. We've got a 3-point basket made. And Simone Sedaris with a chance for the rare 4-point play here. That would be the start of the half they're looking for.
And again, a little bit of hesitation on that sideline. I would encourage Nelson to attack that press. But a nice pass up the sideline by Webster to get it to Sedaris, and there's the 4.
And quickly a steal. Sedaris running the floor. Gets the breakaway lay-in to go. A 6-0 start to the half. And a little pressure of their own. A lot of contact. They're going to let that go. And she intentionally draws the contact. Good bounce pass to Anderson. Can't get the reverse layup to go. And she throws it away. Webster in the passing lane. Oh, she definitely double dribbled that. Just looking for options.
It's too bad. That would have been a chance for a little 6-0 run, 7-0 run if they get a 3 for Nelson, and then the turnover.
Well, I think they have the 6-0 run on the 4-point play in the basket.
Oh, that's
yeah,
right.
They could have taken it even
Down to
further.
8, 9, yeah.
Yeah, feeling good about themselves. Still, they've chopped into the lead here. We'll see what the Demos have to answer. It's charisma. Gonna get it back to Lawrence, back to Nunez. The sisters at work here. And a good looking stroke, back iron and off. Sedaris has been a spark plug off the bench, but she throws that one away. It's Aubriana Lawrence. Nice handles behind the back. Oh, and the beautiful no-look pass down low. A piece of art. Chauncey Anderson gets a nice easy hoop, but what a pretty delivery.
Lawrence sees the ball really well. Not a defensive breakdown there, but the miss lay-in.
Yeah.
And neither team playing perfect on the defensive end for sure. Some missed assignments, some easy buckets.
That was a good look for Sedaris. A couple early hoops. She's definitely been some instant offense in the second half and could have had more.
Fuel your next event with our fresh and flavorful
a little NFL today too. I was in the hospitality room earlier and saw some NFL games going on there. I forgot it's just that time of year.
That time of year, big duck game around the corner.
Oh yeah, we're a big duck household at home, so the nervousness has started. Trying to figure out what we're going to do to make it through that 3-hour Rose Bowl and not have our heads explode.
I ran on the field in 1994 after Kenny Wheaton's interception.
Oh wow!
As a student.
That's a story there. That gets played every year multiple times, especially come Husky time.
Yeah.
8 week is always good.
He was a freshman. Went on a nice playing career in the NFL. Great rebound. Anderson just really working hard down low. And again, secures a rebound. Looks like it's going to go back to Nelson, but great effort. Really.
Johnson played guard for us over the summer. She's right around the block all day long here for Jeff, using her jumping ability.
Telegraphed that one. A great read. Charisma in the passing lanes. Here's Chauncey again. Back to Charisma. Left-handed dribble right down the lane. Gets it to go. Good looking layup, Charisma Johnson.
Just what we talked about. Sloppy with the ball there.
Webster forward to Harris. Can't get it into Love. And Love looking a little frustrated, not quite jogging back on D. Maybe she'll get an opportunity here since she's kind of cherry picking. And she sure does. We don't want to coach that, but it worked out good time.
Strong power move off 2 feet there by Love Ford.
Johnson back to Anderson. Anderson to Nunez. Back to Lawrence. Tightly guarded, gives her a little body and a little shake. Sets up the three. Can't get it to go, and a tough rebound for Webster. Great pass forward. Taking it herself, and a good-looking layup for Tatiana Harris.
Not good transition D by Jefferson. Lawrence tried to intercept that or get a tip, and that was not a good decision.
Aubriana Lawrence, yeah, she's being hounded. Kind of sold that one. Communicating with the referee now, but hey, you got the call.
I think Nelson, again, being feisty right there, you're not mad there on that one, even though probably a silly foul. Just show some fight.
Aubriana going to call her own number. Around and off. Nunez hounding the rebound, but no. Webster, long, ambitious pass, going to find her way to Grace Bach.
That was fortunate because that was not a good decision.
Lawrence, great look to Nunez. Nunez a little late on the delivery to Anderson, but she gets it back through Miley's hands and stolen. Nelson the other way, Harris with the 2 points. And the body language and the energy coming off of the Nelson bench is certainly picked up. The lead is 16, but like I said, a lot more energy coming out of Nelson. Down low to Anderson. And she throws it away.
Yeah, a lot of turnovers on both sides here. Sloppy play. I think both of them, if they have playoff aspirations, they're going to have to tighten that up a little bit.
Miley Lawrence back in for Carmela Nunez. And Harris calls out the play, brings it over the timeline. Over to Nita. Gonna kick it around. Kirkland gets a touch. Back to Nita. Down low, Grace Bach. Cross-court pass back to Harris. Back to Nita. She's going to find Webster for the long three. Can't get it to go. A fight for the board. And there's the foul. Grace Bach too much of the arm. Charisma Johnson. They get it into Lawrence. Quick handles, and she crosses Harris over. Pretty on the dribble. Charisma Johnson. Bounce it over back. Aubriana, good look down low to her little sister. Can't get it to go. One-handed floater, and Charisma Johnson just charges into an offensive board, sets up a good three, but an air ball. And we're gonna stop the fast break, understandably so, with some kind of knock.
Yeah, I've argued to the officials and to those things that regardless of where the ball is, stop, especially with concussions and those kind of things. Just stop it. It's just a bad break, but stop the play right away. You know, they try to get to where it's neutral. That's what referees will tell you, that when there's a neutral situation, then they'll blow the whistle. But I just would blow it. Just for player safety, if that was truly the case, just stop it.
Yeah, you bet. Jasmine Nita, the one going out, holding her chest. Almost like she got the wind knocked out of her. And there's a big three out of Nyla Webster. It's a 13-point game. Here's Anderson. Strong move and a pretty pass down into the block. Up and good for Mackenzie Lawrence.
Yeah, Chauncey, I don't know quite how she was able to get that through the three sets of hands, but she did.
Back to 15. Harris cross-court pass to Sedaris. Sedaris back to Harris. Back to Webster. Check by Anderson. Going to try to put it on the floor and go by her. Great defense and forces her to step on the baseline. Anderson's pumped up.
Yeah, I think that's probably the next piece in Webster's game. Some upper body strength, some lower body strength. Being able to take a bump. That next level is so physical.
Nunes gets it back to Aubriana. Oh, Aubriana just lost her defender, put her on skates, gets her own. Quick no-look pass into the paint, but it's stolen by Sedaris. Goes up, good look. Grace Bach can't quite handle it, and unfortunately loses the ball out of bounds. Saved by the Demos. Back to Lawrence, she's gonna go all the way down, and a pretty feed and a basket. Chauncey Anderson, the recipient. It's a good looking assist. Long distance delivery.
That's the same situation where Nelson put three on the ball to try to get a cheap steal, and once they escape, it's not good going the other way.
Harris gonna find Bach. Back to Sedaris, working it around the perimeter. Harris gonna let it fly from three, front iron and off, and Anderson strong on the board all the way forward to Nunes, who's gonna go up with the soft hands. Good looking fast break for the Lady Demos. And the lead is back to 19, 7 on the game clock. Sedaris is gonna have to go quick. Over to Webster, gotta get it up, she does.
Yeah, a little glimmer of hope for Nelson kind of got extinguished there in that last 2 minutes.
Right, they started the third quarter off nicely, chipped the lead down to 13, but back up to 19 as the Lady Demo pressure's just been a little too much to handle for Nelson. A young group, they're growing in this game. Clearly a lot of talent, certainly with Love Ford and Nyla Webster being sophomores. The future is bright.
For sure. You know, Webster, they list sophomore. Love Ford, sophomore. Most of the players that have contributed today are underclassmen. So future very bright. And again, in that little hotbed of basketball in that Clackamas, Happy Valley area, they're on the upswing as far as momentum going as a program. And Jefferson, again, kind of a senior-laden team for the most part. There are a couple sophomores, a couple of Lawrence girls, sophomores. Aubriana, senior. Chauncey Anderson, senior. Layla Nunez, senior. So the big three, this is their year. So a little bit different mindset if you're the coaches, where it's a win now, we got to go now, Jefferson mindset. versus the Nelson. We're building something here. We're trying to build some tradition for a new school that I think's only been around 3 or 4 years.
Back in play, Harris over to Sedaris. Checked by Nunes. Gonna work it around back to Tatiana Harris. Left-handed dribble over to Grace Bach along the baseline. Gonna get her own, a nifty little baseline jumper. Leads back to 17. Anderson taking a turn, bringing it up. Kick it over to Nunes. Nunes, that long two, the terrible two, but a strong rebound and one from a very fired up Chauncey Anderson. She's been just eating up those offensive rebounds.
She's making a living today down there, and again, Chauncey is a guard. So if you're just watching here, she's normally a 2 or a 3 guard, and in Jefferson's scheme, they've got her down along the block quite a bit, and she's embraced that role for sure.
Yeah, she's battling. Can't get it, but then Johnny on the spot, Charisma Johnson, is going to get right back to Anderson for another 2, and we're on a little bit of a Jefferson run, the lead back to 21.
That's an unselfish play there by Charisma. She could have taken that shot, instead saw the open player underneath for an easy lay-in. I think that bodes well.
The wheels might be coming off a little bit for Nelson. A quick look. Nunes is going to get the 3 to go. I feel like Nelson needs a timeout here. 13-point lead. They're going to play through it. Harris over to Sedaris. Check by Nunes. Picks up her dribble. Cross-court pass to Harris. She's going to drive it in the lane and get picked. Gets her own. Back to Webster. The little running one-hander can't get it to go. Here comes Charisma Johnson. Long pass forward to Anderson. Leaning in. And one. Chance for the 3-point play, and demos are firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, the live ball turnover, we talked about that difference between dead ball, live ball. The live ball turnover is killing Nelson right now. Everything that they fumble, everything that gets tipped away turns into an easy 2 for Jeff.
Anderson gets this 3-point play. Now she's putting up some points. Gonna come over and get a little rest. She's definitely just doing a lot of damage on the glass. Maybe a little blood or something? She's gonna have to get something taken care of. She was looking on her uniform. Sedaris back to Harris, down low. Webster, good look, but from behind, rejected. That was Mackenzie Lawrence on the clean block.
That's a lot of length. Again, Jeff not super bulky, but man, there is some length with Nunes, with the 2 Nunes girls.
Cora Ritchie back into the game.
We list them 6'1", 6'2", and I bet you their reach is equally as long.
Love, she's gonna get it over to Harris. Quick trigger 3 is around and home. They sure needed that. There goes Nunes, checked by Love. Love forward on the defensive end over to Nunes, right over to her sister. Thought about the 3. Sakura Ritchie gonna get it over to Carmela, and her big sister Layla gets the hoop down low.
Tough combo. Nelson not doing well on the boards, as well as a little careless with the basketball.
Webster driving around, kind of passed it in between 2 teammates. Here's Sedaris. Sedaris to Harris. Right down Broadway, and she is fouled. Good first step, quick acceleration.
Demos, 23, Charisma Johnson, second personal, first team foul.
And Mackenzie Lawrence getting some high fives from her dad. And the Love forward. We haven't called her name a lot. And Sedaris not looking for the pass. It's going to be an unforced turnover. 25-point lead. This thing's kind of gotten away from them. Aubriana Lawrence. A pretty look to Charisma. High arcing shot off the glass is no good. Sedaris hounded by this pressure, but too much pressure in the foul. And
Sanaya Bell for the Demos.
Right now, after Nelson down 25, I'd like to see it just end on a positive. See if they can cut it under 20, execute, take care of the ball.
Yeah.
That's a good start right there.
Pretty shot for Tatiana Harris. Brianna Lawrence. Forward to Layla Nunez. Layla, baseline jumper on her own. Pretty stroke. Good looking follow through.
Yeah, my player of the game there has been Nunez, and I know Lawrence has played well. I just like the way she plays. Does a lot of different things for her team.
Harris calling her own number there. Well done by Sakura Ritchie, stay in control. Get the pass away from the pressure. Brianna Lawrence, you know she's got that first quick step behind the back. Gonna get it into the lane, kick it over to the younger Nunez, who's fouled shooting the three-pointer. Love forward, and part of her sport class is something that maybe lost her lens there.
Second personal, 13 foul.
Carmela Nunez should be shooting three, I believe. Yeah.
I would think both teams might start clearing bench here soon.
Yeah. Get some minutes.
Experience and just the opportunity for young players to get out in a tournament like this. Get a couple of minutes under their belt.
Yeah, Olivia Futch coming back into the game. Free throw is good. Tatiana Harris gonna swing it over to Sedaris. The long three. Jasmine Nita can't get that one to go.
Not sure what the time. I know State of Oregon has a running clock at a certain score. I don't know what that is.
Oh, quick crossover. Can't get it to go, but Nunez showing off that height and rebounding prowess. Well done by Grace Buck. Tatiana Harris gonna take it herself and get swatted by Nunez. Can't get back in play, and Charisma Johnson coming back in for Brianna Nelson. And a great steal. Sedaris takes it away from her. A little show and go. Can't get the shot. Nice ball fake. And cleaning up the glass. Fighting Sanaya Bell on the floor. Got 2 or 3 rebounds. Third team foul for Nelson, and here come some of those players. We talked about Rochelle Davis going to make an appearance.
Again, if you're Nelson here, 3 minutes to go, can you get it to 20? Can you get a little momentum? And again, if you're Coach Hodge going into the locker room afterwards, learning experience here. Playing against a veteran team, that's what can happen if you're not ready to go at the tip, and if you can't handle that pressure that the top teams are going to exert, whether that's half court or full court. Pressure wins, especially in the girls' game.
Yeah, really took Nelson out of their element there. And a good look, Love forward, can't get the 3 to go. Fighting hard for the rebound is Sedaris, and she's going to draw the contact and the foul. You love to see the effort late in this all but decided contest. Slide impound. Love tipped but retained by Nelson. Sedaris, she's had an active second half. Love forward, gonna let it go, back iron it off. And good rebound there, Sanaya Bell. And the bank is open. Sephora Ritchie with the 3.
Good for her.
No pictures in the score sheet.
It's always fun when one of your players, you can tell when that bench goes crazy for them.
Right.
They're a big part of the group.
Yeah, you bet. And a nice and one opportunity here for Grace Bach. Good move inside for her. Olivia Futch, excuse me. Yeah, she was fired up. Good hoop. Futch completes the 3-point play. 2 minutes and change to go here. Charisma. Nice handles. Deliver to Bell. Bell can't get that one to go. Head up and a adventurous bounce pass there for Webster. Can't get that. But again, out of bounds turnover, better than a live ball turnover. You're teaching me well here, Coach.
Yeah, at that point, they're probably a little bit tight of a window there. I would have, if you're Webster, maybe try to create something on your own a little bit.
Certainly has the ability.
Oh gosh.
Extra step? Yeah.
And Sedaris has shown a few things in the second half. I know that was a travel turnover there. Number 12 for Nelson. An athlete, certainly was not shy about letting it fly for 3. And I think something that they can build on a little bit was trying to figure out how some of these athletes can succeed in some of these tighter games. But you find out a lot about your personnel in a game like this when you're playing a good team. Who can handle pressure, who can't.
Open look for Nunez. Too strong. A good fight for the board and good sportsmanship here. Everybody helping her up. Harris back to Sedaris. Sedaris going to go down low. Futch. Nice little ball fake, and Futch has got a couple hoops in succession. Quick on the dribble there. He's going to get back to Ritchie. Ritchie to Nunez. Inbound and a tie-up. Futch going to help her up. She's been pretty active here in the second half.
Yeah, again, if you're Nelson, you see a little spark. Some of those guys maybe earn some more minutes next time.
Nunez going to go down low. Aubriana. Lawrence, a lot of shake and make you miss. Can't quite get it. And Futch, a good board and a quick pass in transition. Harris going to pull up. Can't get it to go. Final 40 seconds of action here. Nunez. Back to Lawrence, back to Charisma. Charisma Johnson takes the bump. Nunez, back to Sikora. Just letting some of this shot clock run out.
Travel right there.
Right, LeBron James on the dribble.
I always remember that Russell Westbrook one where he had the ball on his hip and he took like 8 steps.
Right. Yeah, the NBA not too fond of the travel call.
Yeah, they showed that in the old NBA bloopers. Goes back to my childhood. There was those TV shows. This is pre-internet, pre-everything, where you'd have a sports machine show on Sundays at 3 o'clock, or a couple of these other shows that would show these random crazy day in sports kind of thing, and you just eat it up because there was nothing else on. There wasn't. Right. You didn't have SportsCenter top 10 or SportsCenter bottom 10 plays of the week. You just got what you got. And I remember staying up till 11:30 at night to watch the Lakers in the championship in 1980.
Showtime.
Yeah, the Showtime Lakers. That was Magic's rookie year. They won it. They used to delay that. The NBA was so unpopular then that they would tape delay the championship series, and it would go on at 11 p.m. at night on Channel 6.
Unbelievable. Has it grown to the second biggest sport in the world?
Yeah, it's they're up. I will say that I know that the ratings have been down a little bit in the NBA this year. I think that the reliance on the three-point shot. I think the biggest thing for me as a big-time basketball fan, I want to watch big-time players.
Yeah.
And when my favorite player is Joel Embiid and he only plays 7 times a month, it's hard for me as a season ticket holder probably to invest $25,000, $30,000 when I'm only going to see the best players 2 nights a week, or And I bring up Embiid because I know he's had some injury issues, and a buddy of mine is his trainer. And so I've kind of been in the same gym with Joel a couple times. He's a great person. Just injuries, you know, the load management kind of started with Kawhi Leonard. When I grew up, you know, you played 82 games. Your favorite player played 82 games. And the technology, conditioning-wise, was way less than it is now. I'm not sure quite.
It's an interesting conversation. When you look at the NFL, those guys were playing more, and they were playing on a carpet on concrete.
Yep. I think the advantage the NFL has is they can cut you right now.
Yeah.
And the NBA with guaranteed contract. And that's the nature of the game. I get it.
What does the NFL stand for? Not for long.
Yeah, for sure. So here we go. Wrap this thing up.
It's such an entertaining watch. And they're just going to dribble it out. A great performance for the Lady Demos of Jefferson. They're going to take the 74-52 victory to the locker room. Good fight, but the pressure was just a little much for Nelson High. Some bright spots in there. Tatiana Harris had a nice half. Olivia Futch played well, and clearly, you know, Nyla Webster is a D1 talent. Got her scoring going. The same could be said for Love Ford. And look, they're sophomores. So, bright future.
Experience matters. Miles under the belt. You know, just being able to have that experience of dealing with that pressure. And it's a new group, new coach, brand new, first year. So they're probably learning how to play together, learning how to come together as a group. So good job, good effort. That was fun.
Yeah, great. Well, that's just 2 in the books and many to come. We'll be here till 8 with the Oregon Sports Beat, bringing you all this exciting coverage here, the Winter Classic, and we've got some stats coming up to finish off the game
we'll
here.
Give them some stats, and then we'll transition here. Looking at the early numbers, Jefferson shooting overall for the game 35%, but not great. But here's a number for you: 29 offensive rebounds.
Unbelievable. And
they won the rebound battle 51-28. Next big number, Nelson 23 turnovers. That doesn't bode well for them. And they shot it about comparable, 38%, 8 for 22, 36% from 3. So Nelson shooting wasn't necessarily the issue. Taking care of the basketball and rebounding was their downfall today.
You said it. No, taking care of the basketball. And a lot of that credit goes right back to Jefferson. They ran that press and the pressure really effectively, took Nelson out of their rhythm, and they, you know, they dictated the tempo of the game. Chauncey Anderson, I think she only had 1 make in the first half, finished 7-17, 10 boards, 21 points. That's a great half.
6 offensive boards stands out too for a downsized guard, and I say downsized for the college game, probably at the high school game, probably a little bit above average there.
And you were complimenting Layla Nunez. She finished 8-17 from the floor, 18 points, 7 boards. Overall, great game. Assist leaders. Aubriana Lawrence with 7 assists. She was spreading the rock and running the point. Really quick handles. And some bright spots, you know, Nyla Webster, she poured in 17, got 8 boards. Tatiana Harris, 5-11, 2 of 4 from downtown, 14 points.
The next step for Harris and Webster will be to 7 turnovers for Webster. That's a number you want to have around 1 or 2, and same there. So that's something they can look at and go, you know what, I really got to tighten up my handles, make better decisions. Basketball's a game of decision making. You know, what are you going to do on the catch? You're going to shoot it, drive it, move it. Where's the ball at? Where am I going to? Who do I need to look for? And then making that decision, how do I make that plan happen? You know, do I need to fake it? Do I need to get to a better angle? Do I need to make a play for myself? So that's what experience happens. That's when a sophomore becomes a junior, they make better decisions. A junior becomes a senior, they make even better decisions. So part of that is just the growth.
Well, Kurt, what a pleasure to be up here in the booth with you. Enjoy a day off if you're going to get one, and then we'll be back here in a couple days as the tournament rolls on. Great entertainment, great atmosphere down here. And for Oregon Sports Beat, I'm Benjamin Efran. Thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned. We've got Dave Hall, and are you staying on?
I've got one more game, and then I got to do a little recruiting, and then we got practice tonight. So we're busy day.
Well, enjoyed it. We'll see you right around the corner. Thanks again.